Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So, I'm thrilled to be able to talk with you today about the power of thought and teach you how to take this work in your transformation after divorce and really become a magnet for miracles and live, create, design your hell yes life. So, a little bit about me. My name is Riana Malia. I am a mama, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a business owner. I'm a game changing transformation coach. So, I'm an evolved NLP practitioner. NLP is neuro linguistic programming. And I get the honor to work with women just like you. So, successful women in the prime of your life, post divorce, or in that process, or at the end of a significant relationship, to really help you go from being stuck in that place where there's just that fog of uncertainty and you feel trapped by past pain and trauma. And I help you step into the happiest, healthiest, most confident version of you, all while teaching you to become a magnet for miracles and creating, designing, and living your version of your hell yes life. So, after my divorce, I literally felt stuck in this kind of never ending circle. And I was angry and bitter and sad and broke and resentful and stuck in that endless place of heaviness. And if you've experienced a divorce or the end of an important relationship, you know what I mean about that heaviness. Everything just feels heavy, and it's hard to imagine the gap from where you are right now to imagining what it's like on the other side of healing and of transformation work. And so, in doing this work, is how I went from that and being stuck and just so sad and unhappy and scared to now and being married to my greatest love and getting to do the work that I'm called to do in this life and getting to be the healthiest, wealthiest, happiest version of me. Um, and before we get into talking about the power of thought and a very precise and simple process that I'm going to teach you in our time together here today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, because this is a basis for the work that I do. So I just want to give you a little visual in addition to this one. So you can see here that 10% of our mind is our conscious mind, 90% is our unconscious. And so if you think about your body, I want you to imagine for a second that neck up is our conscious mind and everything neck down is our unconscious mind. And as you can see in that line, so our conscious mind is our critical faculty. It's our goal setter. It's everything that we know, and it makes us, effective and efficient and gets us through our day and our life, right? So if the conscious mind is our goal setter, the unconscious mind is our goal getter. It is our operating system, it's the general, and most importantly, it is the literal library of everything you've ever experienced. So, everything that's ever been said to you, everything you've said to anyone else, anything you've ever felt, all the experiences in your lifetime, some of which you obviously remember and have conscious awareness of, and others you don't really. And sometimes it can be something that happened in an instant when you were 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever, and you made a decision about something in that moment to be true, and it's been part of the operating system. So this is really important to understand because we can't we can't keep going at things the same way and expect to have different results, right? So my point being is we can't solve the problem with the same mind that created it. So that's why we're going to do things a little bit differently in our work together. And I love this quote by Carl Jung. It says, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." So many of my clients, and just, as human beings, right? It's part of the human experience, is we just believe that, well, it just is the way it is. And, I'm just not meant to have fill in the blank. And here is the great news. That's not true. You're wired to want what you want, and it's the brilliant part of the gift of life and being able to dive into this work and do the transformation work and understand that you really literally can change the direction and the trajectory of your life in an instant. So I'm going to show you how to do that today in our time together. So let's talk about what that looks like. What is the miracle mindset? And I'm going to use the word miracle quite a bit because I really believe in normalizing miracles. And part of my journey, part of my story, part of my superpower is I am a magnet for miracles. And I love teaching my clients how to be the same. So I want to talk to you about our thoughts. So, as human beings, we think somewhere between 65 and 85,000 thoughts every single day. And 90% of those thoughts are recycled. So, what I mean by that is 90% of your thoughts that you're thinking today are the same thoughts that you thought yesterday and the day before that and the week before that and the month before that and on and on and on. You get the picture, right? The problem with that is 75% of those thoughts are negative. And that's where we see cycles and patterns that never get broken. And where you might be questioning, why do I end up in situations or patterns or even relationships? I have so many clients that'll come to me and they'll say, I'm dating, I'm exploring, what that's like again. And I keep dating the same person. And it's important to understand that if we're not recognizing that the focus is on the things that we don't want, we're going to continue to call in the same things over and over again, right? So when we get to unlock the power of your thoughts and really transform the way that you live by harnessing the power of your mind and being able to break free from that endless loop of more of the same position, same relationship, same circumstances over and over again, it is game changing and life changing. So, how do we do that? So, my first thing that I want to ask you is, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on really truly what you want? Or are you focusing on and thinking about all the things that you don't want? And when we really dive in and take a look, the answer might surprise you. So, this is what I want to teach you today. And I want to introduce this concept about your away wall and your toward wall. So, depending on where you are watching this and listening right now, if you have the ability to go grab a couple pieces of paper and just pause this for a minute, go grab a couple pieces of paper, 2 pieces of blank paper, and on one, I want you to write the word away. And on the other, I would like you to write the word toward. And if you don't have access to paper right now, don't worry about it. Just do this mentally and then come back later and actually do this exercise. So, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about, for you, because it's different for everybody, which wall is going to be your away wall and your toward wall. And how you determine that is, so your away wall is going to be all of the things you don't want in your life. You don't want in your life anymore, or you don't want more of it in your life. And this can be a lot of things. It can be anything from, finances to your physical well-being, your body, your environment. But for this conversation, for the purpose of context around relationship, let's think about everything that you don't want in the realm of relationships. So I'll just give you some examples of things that I hear every single day from my clients in our conversations. So I don't want to feel like that ever again. I don't want to be in another relationship where I'm not cherished. I don't want to be in a relationship where there's not that sense of equality and partnership and that we're creating life together. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm with someone who's controlling or abusive in any way. I don't want to narcissist in my life. I don't want to be with somebody where I don't have any financial independence. I don't want to have somebody in my life who's, just another jerk, or somebody who cheats, or who's dishonest, who's manipulative. So, like, the list could go on and on and on. So, just think about your experiences in your past relationship and all of those things that you know that you don't want in a future relationship. And that's going to be on that list, and for all intents and purposes on that wall. Now, I also want you to discover where that wall is. So if you imagine, if you're not actually sitting in a room with walls right now, I want you to imagine that you are. And if you just close your eyes for a second and think about which wall would be your away wall. Is it to your left or to your right? So determine that. For me, my away wall is to my left and my toward wall is to my right. So using that example, my away wall to the left. So all of those things that I just listed, imagine that was on a list and literally on that wall. Now I want you to do the same for the other wall, for your toward wall, because this is where all of your hopes and wishes and dreams and goals and desires are going to live for you, your life, your future, your family, all the things. So, what is it that you want? You want to find your greatest love. You want a partner who will love and cherish you, who will laugh with you and get your silly sense of humor, who will want to dance with you in the kitchen while you're making dinner, or maybe you love to travel and you would love somebody who would surprise you with, hey honey, pack your bags, we're going away this weekend. Or maybe it's about somebody that would openly, open arms love your children and your family and your friends, or somebody who you can dream with and really create and design your dream life with. So all of the things, again, it's endless possibility. So I want you to now think about everything that you do want. And here is the exercise. So you're going to find yourself, because you're human, in thought patterns. And I want you to really, for the next few days, I want you to be really present and aware to what it is that you're thinking about and what kind of feelings those thoughts are producing. And when you find yourself in the thought pattern that you can just feel it, it feels spirally, it feels negative, it feels heavy, I want you to ask yourself, which wall am I looking at? Am I focused on the things that I don't want, or am I focused and thinking about all the things that I do want? And at the beginning, I think you'll be surprised to notice how frequently those thoughts wander away, no pun intended, but wander to thinking about all the things on the away wall. And what you'll notice is that by constantly thinking about all the things we don't want to experience again or any more of, the unconscious mind is like a small child. So the unconscious mind doesn't hear that differential of, I don't want more of this, right? Just like if I said to you right now, don't think of a purple elephant. Well, what do you see in your head? Of course, you see a purple elephant. So the unconscious mind is the same. And even though cognitively you're saying, I don't want more of this, the attention and the focus is still on all of those things that, again, you don't want. But because the unconscious mind is very much like a 5 to 7 year old child, we have to give it very clear, specific instruction and direction. So when the voice in our head is vague and it's focused on the wrong things, universal law says that's what we're going to continue to have show up in our life. So this is the exercise. For the next 3 days, I want you to wear a rubber band around your wrist. And I want you to, every time that you notice that you're in a downward spiral, you're thinking about past pain, you're thinking about all the things that you wish were not true or didn't happen or you don't want to have happen again, I want you to snap that rubber band, and I want you to snap it hard enough that it stings. And the reason is because it's going to create some instant awareness for you around where your thoughts are. And after the course of 3 days of really doing that, you're going to start to notice something. You're going to start to notice that the quicker that you realize you're in that negative space, or that you're focused on the away wall, or you're focused on things you don't want, you're going to be able to pull yourself out of it. And here's the other part of that. So how do you pull yourself out of it? Well, you choose a better feeling thought. So if you are familiar at all with the emotional guidance scale, let me actually just pause this really quick and grab that for you. Hold on one sec. Okay, I can't pop it in here apparently during recording, but I will include it and send it to you. But if you've ever seen the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale, you can Google it, but I'll send it to you. It shows the frequency and the vibration of every emotion. So the highest vibrating emotions are gratitude, love, joy, appreciation. The lowest are shame, fear, despair. And you can't go from despair to bliss. It's impossible. But you can go from fear and shame and despair to anger. And then you could go from anger to boredom, and you could go from boredom to curious. So if you just choose a better feeling thought by one level, if you will, what you're going to find is your vibration is going to increase and your frequency is going to increase. And when we're wanting to call in all the love and joy and abundance and delight and peace that we know that we deserve in the life that we're meant to live, you got to think of it like a radio station. And what frequency are you tuning into? So we can say, I want, this incredible love, and I want to be with this person who embodies all of these characteristics and these values, and this is what I see for us, and this is what I see for my future. And but if that radio station of that dream life is, 105.5, but we're down here complaining, blaming, justifying about our ex, or constantly thinking about all the stuff that happened to us, and spending time, a majority of our time, focusing on all the things that we don't want more of, our frequency is going to be more like 97.8. So if we're on station 97.8, we can't hear the freaking amazing music that's happening over at 105.5, right? Does that make sense? So we have to be at that level of vibration and frequency of that in which we want to call in. And all of that, you guys, is fully created and manifested and managed by our thoughts. So, not that long ago, it's been several years, but 10 years ago, 7 years ago, I was in that place of being where some of you are, stuck in that place of the pain and the past. And so I did what I was told to do. And I talked about it with my girlfriends. I talked about it in endless hours of therapy. And by continuing to tell the story and all of the drama, and getting back into that trauma, it didn't work, right? Because what I was doing is endlessly rehashing all the painful memories and constantly being focused on what I didn't want. And that kept me in that loop of anger and sadness and despair. And I couldn't move forward, right? There's no way to close that gap from being in that place to where I wanted to be. And then, as I said, now I am married to my greatest love, have a thriving business, getting to do the incredible work that I am called to do. And I've created a life that I only do things that align with what are, for me, a hell yes. And if they're not a hell yes, it's a hard no, because that's the life that I've created. And that's the life that I want for you too. So, what I want to talk about a little bit now is just like that process of what does that even mean, and how I went from that space of like meh and blah to living a life that, I normalize being a magnet for miracles. And I want to say this, talk therapy has its value for sure. I'm a fan of therapy. But as far as healing, there is a better and faster way for you to heal so that you can move on and close that gap. And that way is called quantum healing. So when we experience deeply emotional life events like divorce or separation or loss, those emotions get trapped inside of us, right, at a cellular level. And so what most women do at this place of being divorced or at the end of a relationship is they try to overcome those deeply rooted emotions by just trying to tough it out or give it time or work through that in therapy. But the problem with those options is that while you might be talking through it and you might feel better in the moment, which you probably will, eventually later when you're outside of that environment, when you're home and you're back and you're all alone, those emotions come back up, meaning that you truly never feel healed of those deep rooted negative emotions. And this is where quantum healing comes in. So, quantum healing has been used with thousands of people all over the world to be able to really heal those deep seated negative emotions from life altering events like divorce, like loss, like childhood trauma. And so that leads us to talking about what I have created to serve my incredible clients just like you. So it's called the Quantum Healing Protocol. And so just imagine in a time together in less than 90 days, imagine for a minute what it's like on the other side and picture yourself being able to break free from everything that's been holding you back. And I want you to imagine mastering a new way of thinking and acting that makes you absolutely unstoppable. You'll have the confidence, you're going to have a plan, and we're going to take you from where you are now into this incredible life that you were always meant to live, which is your very best life. And I know that you know that there is more meant for you and there is more meant for your life. And this is not an ending. This is really, truly a beginning for the next part of life, which gets to really be about you and creating whatever it is that looks like for you. So, okay, what does that look like? What the quantum healing protocol, what does that look like? So, after doing this work for myself and with dozens and dozens of my clients, I boiled it down to literally four simple steps that are going to take you from stuck and just surviving and trying to get through every day to living your hell yes life without wasting more time, more money, and more energy on things that are just temporary fixes. So, here's how we're going to take you from where you are now to where you want to be in four simple steps. And here's just kind of the gist of each one, right? So, step number one is all around awareness, awakening, and activation. You're going to get so much clarity on your current state of where you are and really clear on what you want and all of those future aspirations. And we're going to unlock all of those insights so that we can actually break free from everything that's holding you back, boost your confidence, and have you step into actually creating this life that you so deeply deserve to be living. So, we're going to move into step two, which is all around focusing on mindset, vision, and vibration. And here you are going to have a mastery of mindset and you're going to be able to manifest your desires. And really effortlessly, you're going to begin to call in the people and the experiences and the opportunities and the resources that you want to have in your life. And in this phase, you're going to experience insanely rapid healing, and it's going to allow you to have absolute lasting peace and without having to go back into the past, into the pain, into the trauma that caused the blocks and the stuckness in the first place. And we're going to move into step three, which is all about healing habits and harmony, where we're going to blow out all of those old patterns and behaviors and strategies and transform that into new behaviors and strategies and programming that empowers you and that you're going to get to deepen the connections in all of your relationships. You're going to have a rock solid love for yourself and the life that you're creating and get just really clear on who you are and who you aren't. And this clear sense of purpose and joy that's going to be present for you. And then that fourth and final step is what I call new and now. So here you're going to get to strategize and actually visualize your dreams. And we're going to introduce some things like my quantum goal setting process, where we're going to reverse engineer those goals for you and we're going to install them on your future timeline. So you're going to have 100% control of your future without having to depend on anyone else, with an absolute blueprint and a plan, so that you get to live a life that's filled with freedom and strength and that sense of fulfillment, and actually getting to accomplish the things that you want for yourself and your life and your future and your family. So that is how we're going to go from we're going to close that gap, right? From where we are right now to this life that you are meant to live. And if you are ready to step into that version of your hell yes life, then consider this your personal invitation. And here's what I will say: you have absolutely nothing to lose and your entire life to gain. Between now and dead, what do you want? Like, what do you really want for yourself? And I know that what you don't want is to continue suffering and continuing to take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Like, I know that you don't want that for yourself. So I know that you want different. And when we want different, we have to do different. And so here's your invitation, your personal invitation from me, is to listen to the fact that the universe provided a bit of a nudge. And good for you for listening to the nudge, because I really believe that anytime that we're in a space of wanting to grow and step into transforming our life somehow, the universe will provide like the perfect person, the perfect coach, the perfect mentor, the perfect opportunity, whatever it is. But it's up to us to then take some inspired action and do something about it, right? Because without action, nothing changes. There's no possibility. So oftentimes I think people are like a bit afraid to pull that trigger and book a call, because what does that even mean? And I would love to encourage you in this way. Here's what I will tell you. And I can't tell you how many calls I'm on every week and how many times after those, just the complimentary kind of diving in a little discovery call, people will say to me, I cannot believe what I got out of that call. An aha or a realization or some awareness or some clarity around something that they've been not able to access that in months or years even, with other kinds of supportive help. So I promise you, I'm going to leave you better than I found you at the end of our time together in that free discovery call. And I promise you that you're going to feel better at the end of that call than you did at the beginning. And I also promise you that you're going to have some kind of awareness and clarity at a different level than you've experienced. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I'd love for you just to consider, if you're spending a lot of time in the what ifs: what if I'm never able to get out of this space? What if I never find love again? What if I never feel happy again? What if I never feel like myself again? What if I never wake up and just feel inherently joyful again? Well, what if on the other side of this possibility, what if it all works out better than you could have ever imagined? What if your life, your future, is going to unfold in a way that you can't even comprehend quite yet? What if? So here's my invitation: book a call, get in touch. However you found this, however we got here, all of my socials are at Riana Malia. Connect with me on Instagram, Facebook. You can DM me. You can email me. You can go to the website and send me. There's a million ways for us to be connected. And I think that if you just point your camera on your phone to that QR code, it's going to give you an option for a quick call. And we can have that conversation and start there. So I applaud you for spending 30 minutes of your life really being open and willing to explore what's possible for you in this next phase. And I can't wait to be a part of your story and help you navigate it in the most painless, peaceful, joyous way possible. Sending you so much love, and you're doing an awesome job. You're doing a freaking amazing job. And keep going, keep going. And I will see you very soon.